So these are my very first drawing of a person and my most recent drawing of a person. They're both, in some way or another, a drawing of Princess Peach. The first drawing was fan art for a streamer I watch, the Jaywits, specifically his wife, because they were playing Mario Party, and it was the very first time I drew a person. The latest is because I really like Paper Mario, and I really like Mario Odyssey, so I tried to combine the two. But I want to talk about how I went from that drawing to my most recent drawing, using every other drawing of a person I've ever did to show the pathway I took. So let's take a trip down memory lane. My very first drawing, the full thing, was for Wit's Party, Mario Party 1, Mario Party, because she always would roll a 1, so that's why I drew it. My next few drawings actually, were for anniversaries with my girlfriend at the time. She's my ex now. So here's the first one, and here's the second one. The first one was based on a drawing somebody else did. They just did a doodle, and I wanted to do it on my art program. The second drawing was my real second attempt at drawing a person, being my ex. I like this one, but the skin color is a little too pasty. This one, I kind of just took a picture of a character in a game, Splatoon, and did my best to recreate it. I was really happy with this one at the time, but as we can see from my next drawing, the skills don't translate quite so easily. This was a drawing of a couple I was friends with at the time. I still am acquaintances with them to some extent, but once again, the skin color is off. I still don't know how to draw arms. My faces leave something to be desired, but I am learning, and I think that's good. Then I drew another character from Splatoon for a friend, a little original character, OC. I don't know what happened here. I'm so sorry to my friend. This could have been so much better, but it didn't turn out that way. Okay, so now we get to this drawing, and this is one of the best drawings I did at the time. It's still one of my favorite. I did so many extra details. I just was kind of like in a trance when I drew this. I drew the hands good, I drew the hair good, I like the face, I like the dress, I even like the legs. I put a lot of effort into this one and I really like it. Moving on, I did more fan art for the streamer I was talking about earlier, just because it was her birthday. I like how the eyes turned on this one, although they don't have a pupil, but okay. And it's important to note at this point, I was still using a mouse to draw. I did not have a drawing tablet yet. And I think that's part of why some of these are really impressive to me still, is because I literally did this with a mouse and just like moving it around like that. But this next drawing is actually my first with my tablet of a person. It's Pearl from Steven Universe, and I really like it, but I'm not sure why I did the background like this, or like apply those effects, but anyway, moving on. This is my very first drawing I did in Clip Paint Studio of a person, and it was me and my ex with our favorite Pokemon on a sunny day in the hillside. And I like it. I definitely think there could have been some improvements, but overall, I think this was definitely much better than my previous attempts, so I'm proud of it. But this one just blows it out of the water. This is the best hair I had drawn up to that point, and I think it was the best I've ever drawn the human body in general. However, after I did this drawing, my ex broke up with me, so does it really matter? The jury's out on that one. So moving on, I didn't draw for a couple months or a few months, but once I got back, I started drawing characters from My Hero Academia, because it was a show I used to watch quite a bit. I don't anymore, and I should say anime, but whatever. So this is Ularaka, and I think this is some of the best eyes I had drawn up to that point. I think the shoulders are really good. I really started to get a feel for how to draw shoulders, and just like basically the chest up. The hair is good, although I think it needs to be flatter on a couple points. Like bring it down like here instead, make it curve in more on the back. But once again, I can see my improvement. I'm happy with it. So moving into other characters from My Hero Academia, we have Mina, and this is some of the favorite hair I've ever drawn to date. I like the hand in this one too. And then I got my newest drawing tablet, the one I currently use, my Wacom Syntec. I think that's how you say that. And I just started out basic, just like doodles. So this isn't like one of my like, I spent hours on it. This is like 30 minutes, you know. And this is Sumiya from Fire Emblem Awakening, and I like it. This is another character from My Hero Academia. I really like how the body turned out on this one specifically. I'm not good at drawing the male body. I'm much better at drawing women, just because I generally just draw. Well, I generally drew my ex, and once we get into the future, like the current time, I draw my girlfriend a lot. So it's like I just have more experience. But I think this one turned out really good, and I think it's also appropriate because in the show, he has a rock hard body. So I think it worked. This is an original character I drew. I think it's okay. I wouldn't mind revisiting this concept sometime, but I definitely think I need to make some adjustments, make the head a bit bigger, and just have it be more focused. Also fix the arms. This is another doodle I did. I just kind of sketched it in my tablet, and I think she turned out pretty good. Moving on, we have another original character I drew, Isabel. And she's kind of based off of SpongeBob, I guess, a little. Now, I remember specifically spending a lot of time just working on, like, how the body, just, like, drawing arms good, drawing hands good, although the hands are upside down because, why? This is some of the best hair I've drawn. I'm gonna say this a lot, because I really focus on hair, because I really like drawing hair. It's just so much fun. It's like you can be so expressive with hair when you're drawing a person compared to, like, any other part. And although I'm getting better at like drawing arms a little bit more like expressively instead of just like same pose or hiding them, hair's always been like a way I could express my creativity in ways I just could not with any other like aspect. So moving on, we have Mabel from Gravity Falls and Drugs. We have Tessu from MHA, and this is my first side profile drawing. And what I love about this one is the hair. But yeah, seriously, this is the best hair I've ever drawn even to date. And this is like 2018. Like, I don't know, I popped off on this hair. I really like it. Now, definitely there can be some adjustments and improvements, but I was very happy with this nice dome. So now we're gonna move into late 2018, and I started drawing some friends I met at my work. I used to work at a hotel. I still do, but a different one. And we had J1 students who worked there, so I started drawing some of them as practice because they were my friends and I just wanted to practice. So yeah. And this is one of my closer friends I met. I really liked how I drew the eyes at the time and the hair, because I normally cannot nail black hair like I did here, and I really liked how the hand came out too, holding the leaf and the clothes. This was definitely, I was like definitely getting to a point where I was getting better and better, and I was really happy with it. And we have two more friends. I really like the girl in the blue. I think I tilted her head back good. I think I really captured that perspective. The girl in the red, on the other hand, I think I drew her hair way too big and her head a little bit too small. But other than that, I think it turned out good. This is only my second drawing of me, and this was a beard. I've learned more recently how to draw beards good, but this is okay. I really like the eyes in this one. This was like a doodle, but as for doodles, it turned out pretty well. I'm not sure why the hair is shaded differently in the back than the rest of it, but it is what it is. This is another friend I met. The eyes turned out good. The hair is really good. I wish I would have drawn the body, though. I also think the mouth should have probably had an outline of some kind. And here we go. The first drawing of Leslie. It's about time. This is beginning of February, end of January 2019. And this is the very first time I drew Leslie, and honestly, it's still one of my favorite drawings today, and maybe someday I'll actually finish it. But moving on, I took a year off. This is March 2020. Literally, this is like 5 months ago. My drawing skills completely fell off for a little bit because I hadn't drawn in over a year, and that's what happens. So I get back into it. I drew Leslie for the second time. It definitely went downhill a bit, but this is the third time I drew Leslie. And this is based on a picture I took of her when we were on a frozen lake, Devil's Lake State Park in Wisconsin, and she's blowing snow, and I really wanted to recreate this because it's one of her favorite pictures. This next is my first storytime drawing from the YouTube channel, and it's just from Bronco. She's holding my head, we're looking at each other. I really, really, really like how this one turned out. I really like this simplistic style. I definitely want to work more with stuff like this in the future, but I definitely think it will work best if I can bring this back once I get better at my more watercolor-esque painting style I've been doing lately. So this is another drawing. It's basically just going off the theme of the last one, although I like the last one better. I do not like this drawing. I can't tell you why. I don't like the style that happened here. I love this drawing though, and all the stickers I did for the Dating on Emotional Latina video. This is one of my favorite drawings I've ever made. It's simple, but it gets the point across. So now we're moving into last month, July 2020. And I did these two pieces at the same time at the beginning of the month. The Chibi, Leslie helped me with. She did the lines, I colored it. But the one on the right, that was the thing I was working at the time, and that's why I had Leslie help me with it. And the other one, and I just drew off a picture. This is my favorite clothing I've ever drawn to date, is that coat. Probably some of the favorite eyes I've ever did. It's just like, as you go going, eventually you just kind of get a hang for like how things should look. Like perspective doesn't become as much of a demon, and you can start using it as an asset. You can start using shading as an asset to really capture what's in your mind correctly, and it gets so much fun. This is the birthday drawing I did for Leslie. The first time I ever drew 3 people in a drawing, and I am super happy with how this turned out. I'm super happy the video is doing well on the channel. That makes me happy. I have no complaints with this one. This is probably the first drawing of a human. That and the other one on screen right now, in the right. Those are probably the first 2 humans I've ever drawn. I was like, you know what? Or first 4. I'm like, yeah, I did a great job. Good job, man. Keep going. This is a Chibi I drew of Leslie as a child. I drew Leslie a lot in this quarantine. It's just like, I want to practice drawing people. And I have month anniversaries every month. It just works out, you know? It just works out. Speaking of that, another drawing of Leslie. This one's a cute Chibi with a heart, and no complaints once again. I just like this one. This is the first time I ever drew 4 people. The girl in the front is probably one of the favorite drawings I ever did of somebody. I think that turned out perfect for my style, and I'm just really happy with it. The girl on the right, the other 3 I like. This is probably the best drawing of a person I've ever did. It's the second to last one I did. I just think this has the best eyes I've ever drawn. I'm almost positive it has the best nose, it has the best lips. I think I really went all out on the background and the hair. And just like, I've been really trying to pay attention to like where I'm lacking and just focusing, hammering it. And I think it's really starting to pay dividends. And that will bring us to the most current drawing of a person I did, Princess Peach. Just like the first drawing. And what sets this apart, really, is just like knowing how to draw arms, knowing how to draw hands, posing, knowing how to create depth with shading, knowing how to create a nice, aesthetically pleasing background that doesn't take your eyes away from the main focus, but also is nice to look at. Knowing how to, where to make the brightest parts of it. It's like, I've learned a lot, and it's just like, I can't wait to keep going, and it's not perfect still, and I think if you ever get to the point where you're calling yourself perfect at doing something, you're you're giving yourself too much credit. Nobody can be perfect, but I'm definitely happy with the direction my art's going. I want to keep improving it, and I want to keep providing an enjoyable experience for all you're watching. So this would be where I end the video, but I actually want to give another example of an improving. This time with ferrets. So I'm just going to be real quick. This is the first time I drew a ferret. This is the second time. Third time, we're just going to go through these really quick. You can really tell how the ferrets really kind of match the style I had and the times. And like this was drawn during the same like time period where I did the Mina drawing I showed earlier. I literally took a 2-year break from drawing ferrets. I only had this sketch I never finished from 2018, and I went through it and I was like, you know what, I want to draw it. And that's why one of the most recent videos on the channel is this one. Although I think I have a more finished version of it. This is the version I picked for this video apparently, so whoops. But like this just kind of makes the point where you can definitely like take old concepts you have and completely reimagine them once you become like a better artist. And like I really popped off for this one. I was really happy with it. And this ferret along with the peach I did afterwards were what inspired this video in the first place, because I was well aware ferret and peach were literally the first like main drawings I did. And just comparing the two, it's like it's night and day. It's like, because that ferret is literally the very first drawing I ever made on like a computer. And then this ferret's the most recent time I drew it, which was like last week. And you can just really tell like bit by bit through the years, you just slowly pick up on things. And they really help shape yourself as an artist. And I can't stress that enough. You can draw all the time, but if you're not looking for your mistakes, and if you are satisfied with your mistakes, you're never going to learn how to fix them. And that's kind of like the takeaway for me. It's like, it was always like, I know I'm not doing this right, but how can I fix it? And just keep looking for ways to make it better and better. And clearly, this is better, but I'm really excited for where I'll be at, like at the end of the year, for example. I'll probably make a follow-up video just showing like drawings from now until then, if I've improved enough. And then I'll probably do one of these videos like once a year or like twice a year. I don't know. But thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. And stay tuned for the next drawing that's going up on the channel in a couple days, which is going to be the follow-up to the lines of the Legend of Zelda video. And here's a sneak preview.